Oh,
Yeah.
yo,
Oh,
salute, dog.
what up,
Damn.
man? What up?
For real, yo, it is really good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too,
We
brother.
always start off by letting our special guest, yourself,
Right.
introducing themselves to everyone in the lounge space.
All right. So it's Theology 3, aka Theo 3 from Toronto,
Yes, sir.
MC, producer, community worker, writer. I was a radio host like Jay, and just someone who's trying to always move the culture forward and bring everyone along and catch up to everyone else.
It is obviously a pleasure to have you in the lounge space because it's been, man, I think the last time we talked was honestly the last time you were in town.
I was in town. Yeah, I love the city. It's a lot different than Toronto,
Oh, yeah. Huge
but I
difference.
appreciate it. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate the
Always
difference.
ask our guests the same question to start things off. And that question is, how are you introduced to hip hop culture?
You know what? I lived on an interesting street because, like, the bottom of the street, it was, it was a normal neighborhood or whatever. And then when I was 8 years old, I moved up to the top of the street.
Okay.
And the top of the street was a complete mixture of, Italian, Portuguese, Greek, Caribbean, and that was basically the whole mixture.
Right.
And then obviously Forest Hill, which is they say where Drake's from, but I'm not sure about that. But that's a more Jewish neighborhood to the
Yeah.
north. So
Yeah.
when I went to Arlington Middle School, then you had the kids coming from across the park, the wealthier kids down,
Right.
and then kind of our neighborhood going up. So then it was this crazy mixture, right? And hip hop was kind of prevalent at that time. So, you had the Big Daddy Kanes and the Public Enemy and the Ruffins. And
Yes. Yeah.
I was exposed to all that. And it's so crazy. That was just it was the same street, but it was literally number 37 to number 318. That was all the difference in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Right.
Was everyone else around you also being exposed to hip hop for the very first time? Or were you like were you like the odd man out?
No, it was, we were all young. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it was kind of the same thing. I had this little crew called Serious Contrast with my boy Black Cloud and Chris C. And we used to go in his basement with a little Casio keyboard and make
Yeah.
really, if I could swear, really
You
shitty
can.
songs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was just like you got your influences. You sounded like someone, like a Black Sheep, or you
Yeah.
sounded like a whatever, and you just um, found your own personal style after a
Yeah.
while.
Right.
Right? And my school was like a basketball powerhouse, a lot of dancers there. So hip hop culture was like well in there. Like Spike
Yeah.
Lee came to visit the school.
Yo,
And,
for real?
oh yeah,
Damn, that's pretty sick,
yeah.
dog.
Oakwood is where I went. So
That's
he,
pretty sick.
yeah, he came, and a lot of stuff was going on. Like some of the graduates of the school took prominent places in the local hip hop community too.
Right. Right.
So like Mark Strong, who's now like the announcer
Yes.
for the Raptors.
Yes,
He
sir.
went there,
Salute Mark
and
Strong.
a lot of my classmates and stuff, they did really well, and they just kept that core of hip hop alive, no matter what endeavor they took in life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we obviously know you as Theo 3 the MC, but was it
Right.
always the MC, or did you dabble in other pillars of the culture?
Just production.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
it was out of necessity. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
I didn't know people who made beats before I met like DJ Sirius and all that. So I would go, and there was a magazine called Now Magazine.
Yes.
And in the back of this magazine was all like female escort ads and everything.
Yeah. All the ads.
And nestled in there was a studio, and it said B Music Studio, $40 an hour, whatever. Whatever kind of music you want to do, come down. And it was a little pricey back then because, I was probably doing one of those agency factory jobs or something y'all did.
Yeah.
Driving myself crazy. But I went and I learned how to mix on the big board. Uh,
Nice.
um, I had met some friends through my brother who they were like crazy party animals, but one of them had a Kurzweil. So I would go over there and he would sequence my ideas
Okay.
into beats. So
Nice.
you know what I'm saying? So I would take those beats over there, and that's how the first 12-inch came to be.
Okay.
That was all self-produced, and he helped me arrange everything.
Nice.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. My
It's a
man
good.
Tom Kemeny, big up him. Yeah, oh yeah.
Remember that? You remember that shit? Took you like an hour to do like
Yeah,
one
my
joint.
boy. Well, what I would do is, and I don't know if I would do that particularly, but I would layer samples over each other
Okay.
on tape to create the sequence of my joints.
Right.
And I would get them. My man Martin Baker had his parents had the West Indian food store right on the block, and they would sell these crappy little tapes, and I would put the Kleenex in the top to record over or whatever,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I would create sort of ghost patterns of what beats I would create
Right.
before I would go to put them in the sampler.
Nice. Nice.
Yes, it was a huge process, man. Like
Yes. Oh my
just
God.
just to get decent at a rap, and then at my high school I actually performed, and it was like we mashed up the place twice, and that was a UNESCO performance. That's like
Oh, for
the
real?
multicultural
Oh,
performance,
cool.
and so it was
Okay.
just we killed it, and we did an encore performance, and it was like I was not ready for that level of notoriety at that
Right.
point. I didn't know how to dress. It looked like I had like a LL Cool J pant leg, but that's just because I didn't know my jogging pants were up my leg. You know what I mean?
Out of all the aspects of hip hop, you chose MCing.
Right.
How did you know that was your calling? How you know that was your bag?
Just getting good at it progressively, you know. I started learning how to put words together, and really, we came from like a battle era.
Hell
So,
yeah.
so it would not be per se that I would be battling people, but I would be listening to punchline bars and then extremely socially conscious stuff, and I would create this sort of mesh of like conscious battling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Always trying to inject something. So when I would go to these community events or whatever, I could drop a line about racial injustice, then drop a punchline, and the crowd would kind of go crazy because both sides of listeners would be
Right.
engaged. Right? There's my Zoom falling down. All that type of stuff was just
Mhm.
really good practice to write songs, to get all the content.
Right. Was
Yeah,
was there someone in particular that influenced you to
yeah,
the point where you're like, okay, yo, I did what he's doing. I want to do what he's doing.
yeah. Well, it started in high school. There was a guy named Lyndon Carr who did like this talent show performance. There was like this ill flute loop. And I was like, this guy lived right up the street from me. And I was like, oh my God. Like, it's crazy what this guy, he had the high top fade, he had two dancers. I mean, it was like, I was blown away. And, you know, those type of performative elements. And I got to give a shout out to Much Music, because when they had Rap
Yeah.
City going on and Extend the Mix, I mean, we wouldn't have known shit if it wasn't for
Straight up.
that. I mean, I would have known because like Club Focus was right around the corner from me and different things. I was too young to go out though.
Right.
I didn't go to Opera House. I didn't go to there was a place where they had all these jams, the concert hall, and I never
Hmm.
went there because I was
Knew that this was your bag.
right.
Did your parents, did your family understand what was going on with your creative?
You know what? I grew up in the city. My mother was working all the time.
Hmm.
Didn't care. I mean, we had carte blanche to go anywhere we wanted, and,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and be around. And literally, you know, that's how it was. Like, as long as you don't do anything stupid, like, you can get caught up in shit all the time, but
Yeah.
as
Just be
long as
smart.
you,
Just
yeah,
be
be
smart.
smart,
Yeah.
you know. Um, No, I thank them for that sort of open-mindedness to everything. That helped with the writing and all that.
Nice.
My parents were friggin'. My dad was like a weed smoking hippie all his life,
Nice.
and my mom was just the worker in the family. She was always at her job,
Yeah.
providing for the family. So and I have a really interesting family, like my extended and everything. So a lot of creatives in there.
What
Yeah,
kind of music did you grow up around? What were they playing in the house?
a lot of blues, a lot of Beatles,
Yeah.
Bob Marley,
Mm.
you know, just a wide eclectic array of music. My mom, obviously the some of the oldies or whatever, like the whatever. Yeah, yeah, just interesting mix of music, man. So, so
That I
it's
hear
good.
that.
It's good to have an interview because I gotta shout you out because I haven't done this in a long ass time. So
I
I
am
just
so
I just want
I
to give
am
you a hail.
yo, I want to thank you, man. Because I mean, apart from personally, I'm really happy to catch up with you. This, like the fact that we're doing this is god damn.
Yeah,
Straight up, dog. Straight up, straight up.
dope, man. And for all the people watching, so our awkwardness can be explained by the fact that we haven't seen humans in like 2 years. So, like I walk out of my apartment building and no one gives you eye contact. It trips me out. Like I'm like
Yep.
I
Yep.
feel like I'm in a zombie apocalypse, bro.
It is a little different out there, and now you got like almost like two segments of the population now. You've got people who see things one way. You got other
Yeah,
people who see things the opposite way, and it's like we could all still kind of like be in the same spot with and still believe in what we believe in without
yeah,
looking at each other funny.
yeah, yeah. It's been a contentious time. Like
Yeah.
not being on social media is such a blessing at this time.
Oh, you have missed nothing.
Yeah, and also I don't have to like that Seinfeld where he's like, you must wear the ribbon,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to display my beliefs. Like people know what I feel like, or you can call or email, right?
Yep.
So even
That
though
is,
this is never heard and this is like exclusive interview. Another reason I dipped off of social media is because I had I would say an obsessed fan. So
damn.
no, and I knew them. Like I said, my dad's an eccentric guy. He
Whoa.
knew someone who I knew, who
What?
knew, and I didn't know he was like a fan. It gets deep, bro. It gets
Whoa.
so. It got very weird. I had to go out of town and take the man's phone from his hand.
Damn.
No, because he messaged member Freedom Writers and was harassing and asking, where's Theo, like drunk and shit. And
Whoa.
and I went to visit him actually, and it was like Apocalypse Now. This guy was like a bit drugged and things like, or he was very a little too comfortable and shit. All these weird theories he was espousing, and I sat down with him all cool, like
Yeah. I could see
okay,
that. I could see you doing that.
yeah. So I had to say, okay, I came to visit you here. I'm out of town. I had to go over an hour out of the city,
That's
right?
crazy.
And I said, okay, this is it. Like, I don't really want any more harassment of my friends. So I want you to text this person before I left. As I'm leaving, the person texts me that was who got the harassing message, and he said, this guy just texted me saying some insulting things about you, and that he was further being derogatory. Sorry, some guys like texting.
Whoa.
Anyway, so I was like, I'll take the L as long as he apologizes and I never have to hear from him on social media again, right? So he became a Twitter egg, this guy, right? The ones with no followers that just
Yep.
message you
Yeah.
directly. And it got to a point where I don't know if it was drug induced or not, but he sent me 100 messages one night on email, and there was death threats in there. I didn't worry about it because I just was worried that he knew my parents and he knew where they lived.
That's messed up.
So I sent him a message warning him, you know, and then I thought it was all done. And then I got a message from one of the members of my crew at 8 in the morning that this guy, hey Theo, you might want to know that this guy is saying, something, and at that point, I just like, all right, fuck, hopped on a bus out of town like an hour and a half. Went there with a bag of paraphernalia.
God
Walked to the back.
damn.
I just grips up the man. I said, look, go get your phone.
Oh,
Go get your
shit.
phone.
Fuck.
And then he got his phone and he was very, scared. But I said, look, man, you can't do this. This is not real life, bro. This is
God
this is
damn.
people's lives you are messing with, right? And then I went home on the bus, like a go bus, bro. Like only 5 people on the bus.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and I could have engaged her, like had a normal conversation, but I was like, I better not do that because I'm
right.
going to like take care of this situation.
Yeah.
And I'm always, very careful in those type of situations. But it was weird as shit, bro. And that was one of the reasons I went off of social media. And yeah, I just
That's mega fucking weird, dog.
yeah, too much
Oh,
access.
wow. Yeah.
And like I say in
True.
my songs, even if I deal with a situation, I don't call on spirits after it's done, right?
Yeah.
It's done, man. Like
Dead it. Yeah.
if I look you in your eyes and then we were face to face, it's done, man. I'm not gonna unless you do something beyond that, but it's done. So I don't want to sound like I am threatening someone or whatever.
Right. Nah.
The situation's done, and that's
That is,
happened many times.
man, that's wild, dog.
Feel the pressure for young people in these times to like take a stance or do this or that, and I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot of pressure. Like even, for us, like so. I'm glad I'm not on that because that's another aspect of your life that you have to manage. And I'm like, no, I got other shit to do. So one thing I will do, like I will go on the Twitter Explorer just to see the trending tabs. And then because I like to see if something is from someone's perspective. Because sometimes if you see the news, you're gonna get only one angle. But if I go to if I go to Ukraine and then I see like 50 different takes on it, I can kind of decide what angle.
Yeah, exactly. Man, we are like almost time up and we haven't mentioned TED's Talk yet.
We better talk about TED's Talk. Yeah.
Yes.
Man, DJ Nana, featuring me, I got to jump on a bunch of tracks. He's a really interesting producer because he would take a track, marinate on it, and then remix it again, add different sequencing to it. So it's a really a good flow of a project,
Yeah. And I want to point out right now, so I can tell you to your face, dog. Do you have any idea how good it is to hear some new Theo 3 shit?
I got a lot coming.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. That's really appreciated, man. And I've been getting that. I've been building up the Bandcamp following,
That's important. That's important. It's a great platform to be on.
Yeah, the money's going directly to my bursary, right? And
exactly.
A lot of stuff there. So if you want to find me at Theo3 Music with a K at Bandcamp, jump on there.
Definitely. And we'll make sure and share links, obviously, so that people know exactly where to find you and where to find the material. Because your Bandcamp, you stacked it. You stacked up your Bandcamp, dog.
Yeah, I have more and more coming because I'm trying to cross the streams on everything. The music, the community work, the, writing. Like my whole theory is if I'm making money in other fields, I can then use music as a vehicle to give back. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't have to milk it like we used to have to do because if you're living on earth for a certain amount of time and you haven't amassed other skill sets, you should, you should always learn and do shit. So I've been writing and producing and making money that way. So
there you go. Well, dog man, honestly, it's been a pleasure. We're gonna catch up. I'll hit you up via text after this, just to catch up real quick. We're gonna wrap this up, but please tell me this is not gonna be the last time that you're in the lounge space.
No, man, we got so many projects coming, and I want to bike to Winnipeg. So we'll have to talk about that, because I would
Yo,
have to
man.
either go through Minnesota or go through Northern Ontario and take a ferry. So you'd have to tell me what's up, but that would take like days. But I'd be down for it. I'd be down for it.
All
If we
right.
could
Well,
put
yo.
if we could put the money towards youth there, like not even an organization, in the
Right.
hands
Right.
of youth, then I would come. You know.
All right then.
Yes.
Well, yo, man, I'll hit you up when we get off here. Thank you, man. So much respect, dog.
Respect, brother.
All right. Peace.
All right, peace.